So I'm out here doing maintenance on a site. I have actually have a couple of York units down here with similar things with these condenser coil sensors. You see that one down there at the end, it's all iced up. This is the bigger model, I think it's like a 7.5 ton. I think it's the Predator series or something like that, that's what they call it. I think those like little ones are Sunline if I remember right, and these are Predator series. So I know this particular unit, we had to do sensors in the past. That's back before we were getting the newer style sensor. So these ones are a little bit more of a pain. The sensors are actually like right here in the corner. The sensors, that's where they are. So you pretty much have to take off this whole corner piece. You have to pull that off, and then you can get down to the sensors, and it's super tight. Right down in this corner is where these coil sensors are. And on this one, there's a 2 compressor circuit, so there's actually 2 condenser coil sensors for defrost. We've done the sensors on here, I think, a couple times in the past, and I think originally when this unit came out and shortly after we installed it, from the manufacturer, we got notified that some of the sensors got put on the wrong side of the loop in this corner. So I know that was one of the things that we did way back when, and then I think we did another set of condenser coil sensors a couple years later. This is the same thing. I've kind of gone over a few sites that will pretty much run these new long leads. I forget how long the leads are. I think they're like 6 feet long or something crazy like that. But we'll just we'll take off this whole corner, take off the blower compartment door up here, and we'll rerun these wires up and into the blower compartment. And in the blower compartment, we'll do that connection in there. Same thing I've kind of stayed in some other videos, just being in the Pacific Northwest, it's really wet, rainy. Whenever these things do go into defrost, now you get all this ice water melts and goes down on the condenser coil sensors and gets those connections wet. So we'll move all that into the dry spot now, which should prevent it from happening. This one actually got so bad a couple times in the past that we actually had to do the blades were just chopping away at ice from the coil getting so iced up that we actually had to do the condensing fan motors and the blades. It's quite the hefty repair. I think at the time it was so early on that we covered it under the install warranty. But similar in here, this one's actually let me cancel out of here. I was looking at the sensors, what they're reading out. But yeah, right here, I mean, it has faults and it's reading out condenser coil temp 2 sensor failure. So yeah, I mean, this one's reading it and telling me kind of right at the get-go. So what I did to take a look at everything, I started toggling down this little toggle switch on these boards. I love how they give you tons of room to work on this in here. You go to details, hit enter. I'm gonna go down to service, hit enter, inputs, hit enter, and then coil sensors, I'm gonna hit enter. And then my condenser coil 1 sensor is reading 175.6, which definitely does not sound right since it's covered in ice right now. So that doesn't sound right. So I would say for sure condenser coil 1 sensor is bad. I'm gonna back out of this and go down to condenser coil 2 sensor, and that one says out of range. I have seen the out of range one be sometimes because of moisture, but if I'm already getting in there to do the one, I'll do both at the same time. And I'll run both of them back and everything like that. So I'm gonna hit cancel. Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna check my evaporator coil. That's 103, that sounds closer to right. And then 88.3, so those sound better. But yeah, so I'll basically just put a little tag in this unit. You can actually see one down here, just so if any other techs come out, they know what's been going on. You can kind of see the notes that have been left in this with Sharpie from people doing different repairs over the years. This isn't even that old of a unit, but yeah, kind of more of the same today. I've actually ran into a couple of these. You'll probably see the other video on the smaller model one that I did as well for pretty much the exact same thing. Seems like every year since these have been installed, I don't know how many units are here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only like seven of these York package units, and it just seems like every time we come out here and do maintenance in the wintertime, like 1 or 2 of these have issues with these sensors. But we've been slowly, now that we've been kind of told about it over the last year or 2 about moving those sensors up and out to get out of the moisture, been having a lot less issues with these things. Not sure if these are still how they're doing their sensors or not, like new from the factory, but we haven't actually done any New York stuff in quite some time. But yeah, I would hope that they have changed it since then, but that's an issue that we ran into, I don't know, about 4 or 5 years ago when we were putting these in, and still kind of dealing with it today. But that's besides the point. That's pretty much everything I was going to go over on this particular unit. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and thank you guys for watching.